Hello, welcome to my stables. I'm the Chocobo Keeper, and welcome back to Nier. Last episode we started. Let me get this out the way. We began the Barren Temple puzzles, and we have to save the prince and Kaine. Oh, I think it's time.
What's this?
Well, this doesn't look suspicious at all. I suppose that was to be expected.
Hey! Look!
That mewling child is inside. Without any rules to bind us, we are free to unleash the entirety of our powers.
It's about time. What is this thing?
I detect magic within the glowing cubes.
You think, Vice? Ow. Can we get these ones? No. Alright, so you're restricted to the level you're facing. Ooh, Speedy Boy. Alrighty.
How mindless.
Yeah, I think this is a purpose. Alright, what do we... What the shit? Oh, it's a
The
person.
guardian of this temple is a curious sight indeed.
Says the talking book.
I can't hit them? Ow.
Let's go.
This is a powerful foe.
There you are, you bastard!
Kaine!
I'm gonna kill the shit out of you! Now hold still and die already!
So quaint.
Ah!
What you gonna do, little one?
How did you find us?
Beats me. I just kicked a bunch of ass and wound up here.
And without even bothering to get dressed.
Fuck off, book.
Kaine, the glowing cubes take priority.
Screw your priorities! I'm gonna kill this thing my way!
And she just stands there. Ow. Take a healing thing. Damn. They do not give you a large window. Alright. We'll take off your head. Or something. I don't know. Oh, for Pete's sake. Nice. Alright. Rearranging.
This should prove interesting.
Alright, this is easy. Alright. Oh, well, that was easy. Alright. Ooh, more dark lances. I think kids have the bells. I didn't notice a jingle on the adults. There it is. And Legend of Zelda move. The prince. My liege, have any idea of the trouble we've... Ah, the royal mask. Our people have suffered since the king's death. I was too young to bridge the gap between our people and other civilizations. Train has
キ
come to a halt. We lack
さお
food
さら
and
えを
water, and the people despair
教え
for
てきっ
it.
たペルア
This mask is an
階
emblem
段
of the
朝日
king.
カエ
With it, I can
Sarato
project a
Ayari.
strong image to other
Ato
lands, and
Lulu.
our people can be prosperous once
タ
more.
タ
カイラム
My prince.
押してキ
Rules
ル
do
タ
not
チエ
exist
ク
to
グ
bind you. They
ギリス
exist so you may
あ
know your
ガイ
freedoms.
ウカン
Those are the words of
Yari.
the previous king.
カイザム
father.
あそれで
And now that I have this
Kaizamu
mask, I believe I
Tareru.
can descend to the throne. Is this correct?
チロンテ
Of
ク
course.
Kaizamu.
Hail. Oh, hail the new
カイ
king.
ザムイ
ウラ
I
ことさら
apologize to you, my
大変だ。
foreign friends, for
ゾス
all
ロ
of
ー
your
であった。
hardships. Wow, you grew up really quick.
ベルアと
I
カ
swear
イ
by
ザ
my
ム
new
セテ
position as the king of
Did so.
facade, I shall grant whatever you desire.
ゴレ
Please,
Toruyori.
what is it I can do for you?
Oh, no, that's all right. We were just happy to help.
遠慮探査来るさ
Nonsense. Speak your desire
Togo.
that I may see it done.
I believe the regent has just given us an order.
I guess so. In that case, how about you make Rule 0? And have it say that if people don't like a rule, they can vote to change it.
A splendid idea.
ヨーリサロ
Very well.
エルパチス
What?
した
But my king, this cannot be.
ーペルアと
Our people have long memories.
ルドス
We shall
恩
never
知はく
forget
れ
the
た
debt we owe you, no matter how hard the times.
ペルアとと
Such is the way of the
タトだ
masked people.
アンダ
And
サン
thus
ク
we
トシ
shall
チ
grant your request.
エオーカイザム
Still, that alone cannot
サラ
repay
ト
our
は
debt
教
to
えて
you.
コスキ
Please
ウカ
accept this.
エテス
One-handed sword rebirth.
Thanks. But I think most of your praise belongs to someone else.
ケワタタ
Thank you, Fira. I am sorry for all I put you through. It's not a problem.
Do you know how to cure the Black Scrawl?
そうすんよ
Ah, the foul disease that
Raizamu
claimed
de-
my father's life.
糸
So, even a king couldn't recover from it.
あ
I fear everything we
De-
tried ended in
あ図式
failure.
たとだ
It seems there is no way around it. We'll have to collect the sealed verses after all.
Yeah, it's the only lead we have.
ウィンカレキソ
Pardon me,
と
but what are these sealed verses?
We came across an old song that says if we find them all, we can cure the Black Scrawl.
And yes, we are well aware that refrains penned by minstrels half in their cups are hardly a reliable source of information.
Damn.
Hey, I'll believe anything if there's even a sliver of hope it could help me save Yonah. And I'll collect verses, orbs, crystals, magic goat meat, whatever.
ああと
One moment, please.
た
Can I ask you to visit
Akochi.
us again?
してそんな
To return as
友達
friends?
と
Of course.
Just try not to get yourself kidnapped again,
Of course, thank you.
たく
I promise to be careful. Obtain the dark wall magic. You erect a magical defensive barrier charged to increase the size. Not my cup of tea, but you know.
I'm worried about Yonah. Let's go back.
Where shall I take you? Let's go to the grocery store. Didn't she want a melon? I'm gonna laugh if it's right here. Oh no, that's the materials. Can I skip this? I can. Haha. Cool.
アルテルアチ北在一有利ラテンアリクより
As per rule 10,547, I will hereby engage in the trading of food. Now come in, marvel at my wonderful selection. Damn, that's expensive. But yeah, I'll buy a melon for Yonah.
ウラヌ
I
ザ
thank
ア
you
ル
in the
テル
name
ア
of the rolls. Come back soon.
アルテルアチ
The strange things store. I want to get a map of this place.
アルテルア
As per rule
地北在
9102,
足体
I am
失せたわる
responsible for the training of strange and
ありがい
unusual
そたいと
goods. Or when I actually have some on hand. Oh, he doesn't have any. Interesting. Oh, wait, I didn't want to
ア
talk to
ルテ
you.
ルは
Rule
試験竹内
2078 states that boys born on December 3rd
3
must keep continual watch of the
あさら
quicksand.
硫
So
化
that's what
テ
I'm
イク
doing. What kind of fucking rule is that?
These rules must get rough at times.
I would definitely change that rule.
アルテルは地
Let's go to the material shop. I think that's where I'd find the map. As per rule 4202, I will hereby engage in the trading of materials. So what you need? Oh, interesting. I don't need any of this. I thank you in the name of the rules. Come back soon. Let's go to the weapon shop. As per rule 6909, I will hereby engage in the trading of weapons. Would you like to buy something? Oh, it's very heavy. Made from the fossil of an ancient beast, it's more unwieldy than most swords, but further forging can help. A sword that bears a beastly motive. Its short, thin blade seems eager to vanish from sight. It's also heavy. Oops. This weapons. Aw, it's very light and everything goes down. That's a shame. I believe we are on the... Yep, we can... Oh! Item store, here we go.
アルテルは
Welcome,
地
as
来
per
た
rule
ぜ
7545, I will
と
hereby engage in the trading of general goods. This is what I want. Sod map, please. You know what? Let's get some seeds. I don't want fertilizer. This might come in handy. Cool.
ウラン
I thank you in
ザ
the name of the rules, and I thank you so that way I don't get lost every time. Let's save, because it's always good to do so. Alright, Kaine, let's beat some feet. My plants are probably dead again, because it's been a hot minute since I played this last. Damn. Wolf hide. And then we get the shiny. Now I wonder if I can fix this.
It appears to be out of service.
Alright, well, hold on. I wonder if we can go through the sandstorm again.
I suppose rules are rules, even if they are absurd.
I don't think they're absurd.
Oh,
Those rules are important to the masked people.
you don't say.
I do. And I think it's important we respect that.
Well, well. The boy is beginning to sound like a man.
Boy, I'm not a kid, you know.
Hey, less talking, more walking.
Can I go in here? I can. Alright, good to know.
The sandstorm's too intense to go any further.
Oh, well, alright. That's a shame. I just want the shiny. Ooh, a desert rose. Alright. Sorry I'm not talking too much, I just really enjoyed the soundtrack, so I kind of just get lost listening to it. So... look at our little footprints, and Connie doesn't leave any, that's interesting. Hopefully Yonah hasn't gone off on some adventure. His friend's like, holy shit! Bob just got wrecked! This should be our village. Yeah, I think that's our house right there. Either that or the library stairs. I was wrong on both accounts. It's to the village. Alright, how's our plants? Are they alive or are they dead? They're dead. Whoops. I'm just gonna keep these bulbs in case I need it for, like, a little quest. That way, they don't keep dying. Believe Yonah needed the melon. Asked you for a melon. Cool. Let's give this to her real fast. Oh look! Goodies! Yo, gold. That's always a nice gift.
Yonah?
Oh, hey.
How are you feeling?
Better, now that I'm taking the medicine you brought.
Good.
By the way, are you gonna stay here today?
Yeah, we'll stay.
You bet.
Really? You'll stay with me? Really?
Yeah, Yonah. I'll stay.
Yay!
Now get back to bed.
Okay.
I mean, at least let her outside sometime. Girl needs her sunlight. I hear a voice. I squint and I see a boy standing before me. His hair is silver, his skin is pale, and he stares up at me with hard, glassy eyes. Okay, they're obviously talking about us. Soon his lips begin to move, but no sound comes out. What is he saying? I can't hear him. I can't hear him, I can't hear him, I can't hear him. I can't. I try to leave, but something about the boy holds my gaze. I watch his face expressionless as his lips slowly flutter. What is he trying to say? Wait, it's a phrase. I can almost make it out. It starts with an E, S, and then there's an E. I can almost see it now. The letters begin to fall together, one after the other, faster and faster. Sealed verse. It's a sealed verse. The thing I'm looking for, the key to saving my sister. Okay, so the boy with silver hair... Okay, it's not us. So who are we talking about? I stare at the boy with renewed ferocity, trying desperately to make out his next word. Dream. Dream? What? What the hell does that mean? The lips move again, faster now. I can't follow them. Damn it! I can't make it out. I want to scream. I want to tear the walls down around me, but instead I force myself to be calm. I can do this. I can do it for Yonah. Slowly, ever so slowly, I parse out the letters that make up his final words. The Forest of Myth. Interesting. Okay. The next morning.
Just a dream. Even in my dreams, I'm hunting sealed verses.
Morning.
Morning, Yonah.
What's wrong? Are you feeling sick too?
No, I had a strange dream.
What was it about?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
'Cause I had a dream too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Me and this boy were playing a game together.
What kind of game?
It was called Guess the Words. I think he made it up because I never heard of it before.
How did it work?
The boy would move his mouth, but no words would come out. Then I had to guess what he was trying to say.
We had the same dream.
It was hard. I wanted to play hide and seek, but we had to play his dumb game instead.
So what did he say?
I don't know. All I could figure out was dream and Forest of Myth. But don't worry, I'm gonna study hard so that next time I can figure out everything. We should play a game together sometime too.
Sure, Yonah. I got your melon, Yonah.
Thanks.
If there's anything else you want, just let me know.
Well, since you offered, would you mind getting me a watermelon?
A watermelon this time? Sure thing.
Do I have a watermelon?
I'll be waiting.
Oh, no. Alright. So we're gonna plant the watermelon. But I promise I won't forget about it this time.
Something troubling you, lad?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Come on, I need to go ask Popola something.
Yeah, we had the same dream. And kudos on my character for not freaking out about it. So... I believe the Forest of Myth is in the plains that we normally go out to see the Eyrie, except instead of making a left, on the top of the map we make a right. If I'm remembering correctly. It's the bosses we fought. Look at what shelf, the top shelf.
What's that?
It resembles the shade we saw in the Lost Shrine.
But where's the second one?
We saw this cube back in the Barren Temple.
Perhaps the Prince of Facade gave it to Popola as a gift?
How much you want to bet this is almost like Almost like a little mini graveyard. Look at the top
It's
shelf.
that lizard thing we fought in the Airy. Who would make a figure of that anyway? And what is it doing here?
You have a point.
This is from the junk heap.
For a decoration, it's certainly in poor taste.
We have a lot more shelves to fill. Hey, Popola, we gotta bother you again.
What's up, Popola?
Oh, hi. I just got a strange letter in the mail.
Dearest Popola, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing in hopes of bringing to your attention a certain dream issue of concern regarding... Whoa, let me try and reread that again. I am writing in hopes of bringing to your attention a certain dream issue of concern regarding recent events in Dream the Village. I was hoping I might dream able to get your advice dream on the matter. Recently there have been dream reports, dream of a certain dream, dream, evil, dream, empty, dream, curse, dream, evil, dream, words, dream, and dream, someone, dream.
That is certainly one bizarre piece of writing.
Who's it from?
The mayor of a small village in the Forest of Myth. It's a wooded area up north.
The Forest of Myth?
They're usually a bright and cheerful group of people. Something like this is very out of character for them. I have a bad feeling about this.
I'll check it out.
You will? But...
Don't worry about it. I've got business there anyway.
Oh, well, all right. Thank you.
Yaha! 2 birds, 1 stone. Alright, let's do it to it, peoples. Epic slam. But first, shiny. Distant alert. Always nice to have. Oh, here's our buddy. Hi, buddy. Get us some Rutan. Oh, I do like a cool little backflip off. Oh, Lord. Yeet the shade. Really? Oh, for Pete's sake. Yeet. Oh, silver ore. Very nice. Seems like Connie's having an issue up above.
It sure is quiet here.
Such silence bodes ill. There's trouble on the way. I'm certain of it.
You know, a little optimism now and then wouldn't hurt, Vice.
Such cheek.
They go fast. Alright. I did see a shiny, but where? Oh, here it is. Don't mind me as I kind of just loot your hometown.
Beware. Beware the words.
The words? What do you mean?
Contagious words. Those who dream.
Those who dream?
Hold a moment. There is a strange new sensation in my mind.
Vice's voice rose in a quizzical way.
It is not quizzical.
What's going on?
The villager's body shuddered as he slowly opened his eyes.
Perhaps we should start by asking this man.
Who are you?
We heard something happened to this village, so we came to see if we could help.
The mayor stared at Chocobo and Vice.
If you can speak to me, I must have caught you in my dream.
In your dream?
The mayor explained. In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called the Death Dream had spread across the Forest of Myth. Those who caught it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their own dreams. The village mayor had determined the Death Dream was spread from person to person by spoken words, but before he could learn more, the disease took him as well. Vice stared at the mayor, his mouth twitching slightly.
Now see here,
He said.
are you saying that we have been absorbed into your dream?
Well, yes.
Said the mayor.
I think you have.
In other words,
Said Choco.
we've caught the Death Dream?
Before the mayor could confirm Chocobo's suspicion, Vice exploded with rage.
Ridiculous, preposterous, completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. I don't even recall falling asleep.
That's just how the death dream works.
Though polite, the mayor was clearly trying to brush aside the book's remarks.
My remarks are not to be brushed aside, fool.
The mayor twisted his mouth into an embarrassed grimace, then quickly changed the subject to who Chocobo had seen and what they had discussed since coming to the village.
Something there must have caused you to enter my dream. A certain conversation, a specific word, something.
Said the mayor. Chocobo and Vice racked their brains but could find no easy solutions. There were simply too many words to consider, too much random chatter, too many meaningless conversations.
Grimoire Vice does not engage in meaningless conversations.
The mere suggestion that Vice chose his word carelessly seemed to sting his pride.
It does not seem to sting my pride, you bloated gasbag of a narrator. It has demolished it utterly.
Irritated, Vice looked skyward as if searching for answers in the heavens.
I was doing no such thing. Just leave me alone already.
The anger created by his harsh words bled over to Chocobo like a contagion. Wait, said Chocobo suddenly. Did someone just say contagion? Yes, I believe so. What of it? Well, that villager told us to watch out for contagious words, right? The mayor leaned forward with renewed interest, pushing a startled Vice aside in the process. You must have said something, right? Said the mayor. Some specific combination of words? What was it? It was about dreaming, or something that dreams, or... Oh, what the hell was it? A sheep? Cried Vice suddenly, blurting out the first thing that popped into his head. The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After a few more minutes of thought, Chocobo's face suddenly lit up. I remember, he said, those who dream. That's what he said, I'm sure of it. At this, the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pocket. He flipped through them a few times before finally nodding his approval at Chocobo. That sounds right, he said, as a straight sheet of paper floated to the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that. I bet it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep. The mayor shook his head, his warm pencil stub tracing lines along a lone piece of paper. For the last month, I've done nothing but study the disease we call the death dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect people from whatever comes along. But I never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused, a grimace crossing his face. I should probably be taking notes or something. Vice immediately fired back. I applaud the force of will it takes to research a disease in your dreams, he said, but perhaps we should bend your efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it. The mayor's hand tightened around his pencil, snapping off the tip. I've tried to escape. From the very first moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream, I've been looking for a way out, but I don't think it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I'd know about it. He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing. My village was beautiful, he said to no one in particular, and it was filled with the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. But once this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free. And I won't stop trying until it happens. Chocobo nodded in agreement. Huh, wait a second. I didn't nod? Look, if we can be of any help, said Chocobo, just ask. Now hold on, I did not just say that. Silence, cried Vice. The Grimoire looked from Chocobo to the mayor and back again, his face filling with confidence. Grimoire Vice's face is always confident, thank you very much. Now see here, Mayor, you told us that nothing can exist in this dream without your knowing of it. But yet you seemed surprised to see us when we first arrived, yes? The mayor slowly raised his hand, realization dawning on his face. Oh my god, he said, you're right. You're right. I had no idea you were coming. The human imagination is a limitless engine, said Vice, and dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine an exit, then it must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out. Thank you, said the mayor. I don't know how I can repay you. Payment is not required. We are as eager as you to be done with this place. The mayor suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He'd almost forgotten what it was like. Good luck, you two, he called at the departing forms of Chocobo and Vice. We're all counting on you. As Chocobo slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of déjà vu. I saw this man once before, he thought. But where? Chocobo's moon darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident they could get in, find the exit, and be home in time for dinner. But the deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around him. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction, and moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Vice was proving to be a spectacularly poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either terrain or physical effort, he spent most of his time urging Chocobo to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Vice muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Chocobo snapped. Okay, Vice, cram it for a second, would you? You don't have to walk. Chocobo leaned against a tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How can this stupid forest be so big? He muttered to himself. The moment the words tumbled from his mouth, a cacophony of insects sprang to life. Every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared out at a volume that rattled his teeth. Chocobo slapped his hands over his ears and screamed, Vice, what's going on? Chocobo could see Vice's mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insects screamed, the forest howled. And then, just as Chocobo's ears seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, he removed the hand from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. Zree! 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 Shack! I'm not repeating that. Ch-ch-kee! Woo! Wooma? What the fuck is a wooma? Shik shik seek! As the insect symphony dimmed another decibel, Chocobo began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise. It's something else. The insect weren't just calling out, they were asking a question. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages, is this a riddle? I guess so. I mean, it feels sort of forced, but maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. And I leave it to you to answer. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? A seesaw. I like that. How should I know? It's a seesaw. Something that's ideal with 2 people, but dangerous with 3. Oh, it's a seesaw. Vice's mouth flew open. Before he could say anything, the word suddenly shifted. Reen, reen, wah! Shik, shik, kee! When Chocobo came to, he was once again surrounded by the sounds of insects. The cries of the insects were creating words he had heard somewhere before. Oh, it's a secret. It's a secret. And really furious that Vice left the task to him, Chocobo sighed and gave the only answer that made sense. It's a secret. Right? The sound of the insect stopped as suddenly as it began. The forest undergrowth parted before Chocobo like a rippling wave, opening a new path. These forest arthropods are making a road for us, said Vice with glee. Pleased at passing the test, Chocobo moved on with new intensity. The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on a path, their journey had a purpose. I guess the forest has accepted us, huh? Said Chocobo after a bit. Vice spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of the forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Vice finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, Chocobo picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Vice. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together to form words. I enter through the window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Absurdly easy, barked Vice. Now answer it. Chocobo grit his teeth and tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right after all. This one is pretty easy. I enter through the window and break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. When am I? Your sunlight. Sunlight! A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. In all my years, said Vice softly, I have never seen such a sight. Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey, look! Cried Chocobo, awaking Vice from his daze. There's a house or something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Vice saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Vice? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? Chocobo walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began Chocobo, but before he could get any further, the cloaked man held up a hand and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. What am I? You're an old man. Chocobo tried to ask the cloaked man who he was and what he was doing here, but he simply repeated the question. If we wish to engage this man in conversation, said Vice, it seems we must answer his riddle. Yeah, I suppose so, Chocobo. Well, at least it's an easy one. 4 in the morning, 2 at noon, but in the night with 3 legs. But no. A man. The mist dissolved from the cloaked figure and he spoke a single word. And with that, the man flung his garment aside, revealing his true identity. You're the mayor, cried Chocobo. The small man slowly shook his head. I am not the mayor you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago, I saw a version of you that was not yourself. Sorry? What's that mean? It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the death dream. Now, you must go to the person at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As Chocobo watched, a mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When Chocobo and Vice returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. "Good gravy," he cried. "You made it! You actually made it back!" His left hand grasped Chocobo's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge from the socket, while his right seized Vice by the cover and swung him through the air. "God, by the heavens, stop shaking me, fool! I had not even told you if we were successful or not." The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. "Just happy you were alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again." Chocobo withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. "We broke the Death Dream seal," he said. "At least I think we did." The mayor's face beamed as Chocobo filled him in on the details. When the tale was done, the three of them lay down on the forest ground and fell asleep. Chocobo cocked his head. "Okay, hang on a second. This is crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep?" "Cease your endless prattle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself." Chocobo and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth. "Have you forgotten?" continued Vice. "It is words that control the Death Dream. Words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue." With that, the trio found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slowing. "This is the first time," began the mayor. "The first time that I have felt tired since I was imprisoned here." His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn, and he remembered. May have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had a slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear they had awakened from their dream. Chocobo shook the mayor's shoulder gently. "Good news," he said. "I think we made it." "Oh, wow," said the mayor in an odd voice. "We did. I'm back." He blinked once, then again, as if not quite believing the sight before him. "You two have no idea how much this means. The Death Dream was spreading through our village, and I wanted to, well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and became trapped in my own dream." The mayor started to stand, then collapsed back to the earth. He stared at his legs as if trying to remember how they worked, then glanced at Chocobo and shrugged. Without a word, the young man reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. "Real life may take some getting used to," said the mayor with a wry smile across his lips. "You shall relearn in short order, I'm sure," said Vice. "For now, you should return to your home and rest." "No," said the mayor, swaying on unsteady feet. "No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the Death Dream. I have to save them." The mayor slowly made his way to the vine tree in the center of the village, then bowed his head and prayed silently. "This is a holy tree," he explained when the prayer was finished. "It's the guardian of our village's history and memories." "Superstition will only make your mission harder," murmured Vice. "We should not put our faith in the gods." The mayor shook his head. "Not the gods, the words. Legend says that our tree is home to a powerful magic known as a sealed verse." Chocobo and Vice could not contain their surprise. It seemed a goal had been found in the most unexpected of places. "I say," muttered Vice, "this is certainly a stroke of luck." As the three of them said their goodbyes, Chocobo mentioned the strange man who had given him the third riddle and the mysterious words he had left them with. "I once saw a version of you that was not yourself," muttered the mayor. "What in the world does that mean?" Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment. "You know," he said softly, "this is going to sound odd, but I had a feeling I'd seen you before, too." Chocobo tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice. "Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figure it's some kind of illusion created by the Death Dream. It probably doesn't mean anything." Chocobo gave the mayor a nod and a smile, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. There's something wrong about the mayor and his words. What exactly is going on here? That riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all.
Oh, thank you so much. Now I can finally return to a normal life.
This is one of the most bizarre diseases I have ever encountered.
I know. That's why we have to help the other villagers, no matter what.
Dark execution? Magical spikes from the ground. Yes, please.
For a sealed verse, that didn't take much effort.
Yes, All a touch too easy, if you ask me. It's almost as if someone was guiding us to this village.
Don't overthink advice.
Instead of the lands, let's do the execution. We should probably do words too. Gablugir. This must be the divine tree. We have to help the other villagers. All of 2 villagers. Okay. But
This person must be dreaming too.
It would appear that way, yes.
yeah, that sounds
Can't
right.
say I'm very excited to go back there. That dream world sorta creeps me out.
Perhaps you should spend less time complaining and more time getting on with the mission.
Yeah.
Oops. Junkyard soundtrack. If you cut it in the mayor's dream, there was the first temple, the lunar temple music, if you remember. I breathe air scented with death and resist the urge to laugh, for I know it will sound like the words of a madman. How long have I been in this fresh hell? My box, my prison, is tucked beneath a stairway in the long unused catacombs of some infinite castle. Outside, I hear the sounds of a funeral dirge that plays without end. Light has no place here. Wind is a forgotten friend. I pray for death to come, but he forsakes me. Time passes, and eternity slips by in a single tick of the clock. Someone knocks on my prison. Anyone there? I hear an unfamiliar voice say. My savior. I claw at the door of my jail, embedding thick splinters under my ragged nails. I scream for help. I laugh. I sob. Surely this is a product of my addled mind. Surely it cannot be true. Help me, I cry. For all the love of the gods, help me. Impossibly, I hear the sound of a lock being torn out and falling to the floor. As the door slowly creaks open, I have just enough time to see a silver-haired boy in a floating book before the light pours inside. My eyes, accustomed to the blackness, explode with pain, and I am forced to turn away. Who are you? I ask, shaking hands covering my face. How have you come to this place? I am Grimoire Weiss. This is Chocobo. Long have we been searching for you. Now come, stand. We shall awaken from this nightmare together. The one known as Chocobo extends his hand and pulls me from the cell. Though my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are keen as ever, and they recognize the staccato sounds of heavy rain. I never thought to hear that again, I whisper. Would that this were not such a terrible storm, said Grimoire Weiss. Look at your feet. I force my eyes open and see water pulling around my ankles and lapping at my shins. There's so much of it. Yes, and more comes each moment we delay. If we do not make good our escape, we shall all drown in this castle. We know you are weak, but you are our only hope to survive this place. Time, that long-forgotten friend, made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to save my rescuers, no matter the cost. The castle catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like endless entrails of a giant. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopied beds resting atop a carpet of velvet. All are covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Searching for the door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of gray matter. It has been shoved against the side of the wall, and despite my fever, I think I see outlines of the door just beyond. When I reach out a finger and touch a piece of the mass, it turns to dust and drifts away on the wind. Realization slowly dawns and I fall to my knees and weep. Corpses. I face a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses. I look from it to the beds and back again until the horror dawns full upon me. Someone has piled these bodies into a tower and set them ablaze. Whether they were alive or dead, I do not know. Insanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. I make a sound. Whether scream or laughter, I cannot be certain. Then my mind grants me a merciful blackness. And I find myself opening the door and leaving that most terrible of rooms. I squint down the corridors, the dim corridors. We need to go east because we just came from the south. I squint down the dim corridors and go north. I squint down to the corridors. Let's go north. At the end of the path, the waters rise to my waist, exhausting me both physically and spiritually. I pray that this is the way out. Eventually, I stand the sight of the waters no longer, and so turn my eyes upward. Imagine my surprise when I see a series of paintings hanging on the faded plaster wall. Each depicts a person in the prime of each life, clad in clothing of the highest quality. The styles, however, are strange to me, leading me to believe that these people had lived long, long ago. One subject wears an outfit that particularly catches my eye. It's constructed of a thin, greasy cloth and decorated with a motif of flowers and birds, while encircling the figure's waist is a leather belt of one of the most perfect construction. It is a stunning costume even by modern standards. I gaze at the portrait, and I'm struck by a desire to touch it with my own hands. Yet as I extend a single finger to the painting, I am gripped by a most unpleasant feeling. Staring closely at the image, I see it bend and warp into a shape of another finger. Something behind the picture is pointing at me. Is it another prisoner? A fellow inmate trapped for eternity in this place? I cannot let it pass, and so I seize the portrait with both hands and throw it into the water. The wall is hollow behind the painting, and inside I can just make out a body. Whether or not this is a prisoner, there would be no rescue. The poor soul is long dead. Scraps of clothing lie to the floor around the bones. Only a small amount of the fabric has survived, but it features the same delicate designs that were depicted on the portrait. I have been admiring a row of corpses, blocked from view by portraits of each victim at their pinnacle. Enough! Shielding my eyes, I paddle forward through the water. I squint down the dim corridors and go back. I squint down the corridors and head west. At the end of the path, a row of heavy wooden casks lie on their sides in a dark chamber. Doubtless they are filled with wine. My thirst roars to life. I cannot remember the last time my parched throat had relief. I scramble to the first cask and pull frantically at the cork. The theft of a few cups mean nothing, I tell myself. The casks will be ruined by the flood regardless. Finally, the cork surrenders to my attack and a thick red liquid bursts forth from the hole. This is no wine, it is blood still warm from the body, whether animal or something else I cannot say. The foul liquid soon mixes with the floodwaters, creating a warmth that laps against my thighs. By all the gods, are the rest of these casks filled with blood as well? I lack the courage to confirm my suspicion. Disgust quickly becomes fear as I turn to flee, but my weakened legs betray me, sending me toppling over into the red ocean below. The smell of death is everywhere. It threatens to consume me. I must escape this hell. Crawling on all fours like an animal, holding back screams lest any foulness enter my mouth, I lurch forward through the red waters, out of the ring to freedom. I squint down the dim corridors and go back. Now we need to go east. At the end of the path, I found myself in a great hall with only sounds of rain for comfort. The waterlogged red carpet squishes beneath my feet as I approach the center of the room. Once there, I behold a beautiful dining table upon which rests china and silver of the finest construction, as well as the remains of a fantastic feast. As my eyes continue to adjust, I see many chairs surrounding the table, each holding a dinner guest. Noticing movement, I approach the chair at the table's head, but as the truth of the matter dawns on me, I recoil in horror. The host of the feast is a corpse, as are all of the invited guests. An army of foul, wriggling insects have made homes in their remains, and this is the moment I saw. This once splendid feast was now nothing more than a requiem for the damned. I take a moment to steady my shaking hands, then slowly back away from the table. Desperate to lose sight of the abomination before me, my gaze lands on chairs upon which the dead were seated. This is a mistake, for the chairs proved to be even more terrible than the feast itself. Each one is covered in a layer of spikes that run from the seat, up the back, and down the arms. This explains the color of the carpet beneath my feet. I can only pray that the unfortunate diners were dead when the meal began. For if not, it is the simple task to envision the agonized screams that must have sprung forth from their mouths. My mind grasps frantically at the possibility that the souls had committed some terrible crime, for which this was punishment. Though in truth I suspect they had committed no crime at all. There would be no tomorrow for these unfortunates. This was their last supper. I squint down the corridors and go north. The water was risen to my chin and now laps greedily at my mouth and nose. "You dumb bast!" shouts Chocobo. He surely desires to say more, but the rest of his insult is cut short by the rising water. Grimoire Vice, wet and tattered, floats on the water's surface. It is already too late for him. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. So I took too long. Well, gonna have to start over in a new episode because it is about that time. Does it start us off? Let's see where it starts off. Okay. Villagers. Let's see.
Now I can find.
This is one of them.
I know.
Okay. So basically, it starts us after the mayor. So that's close. So let's save again. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments down below. Comment on what you think the second villager's dream is going to be. This one seems to be a castle and catacombs that has long since been dead. So let's see what the rest of the castle has in store of us. Don't forget to scratch the subscribe button and peck the bell so you know when the next video comes out. The stables are now closing, and I hope y'all are having a good one, and I will see you in the next video.